teeny. I know you have a question.
I haven't read yours, I'm sorry, Nora, but Michael, I just read, well, I didn't read, I listened to on CD in my car. And I have to say, I was like inventing trips so I could get to the next part in the book. And gas is so high, and I'd be like, what am I doing? I need to get out of this car, but I had to hear the next part. So my question is, Tammy can be such a frustrating character. Like, she says such dumb things. Like, how much of that is like...
Totally.
Like plot device to like move things forward. Like sometimes I'd be so frustrated, like, oh my god, I can't believe you just said that, you know? So how much of that is like part of moving plot forward, and how much of it is just who Teeny is?
It's just who she is. I don't even try to censor her. My editor didn't try to censor her. You know, she just things just come out.
I just love it. I can't wait for the next one to come out.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, how did this relate to the topic here, the sassy Southerners?
I actually live in Macon, Georgia.
Oh, well, you live there now, right?
Lived in Atlanta and now live in Macon, and she lives in Lebanon, Tennessee. So they're Southern girls.
And I don't know how much you are familiar with Bakersfield, where my books are set, but it is in California. It's in the Central Valley, but it's a very southern community. I don't know if you've read The Grapes of Wrath or seen the film. The Dust Bowl migrants came to Bakersfield. That's where they settled. That's where the Jodes were going, basically, was to Bakersfield. And they brought their culture with them. So, you know, people speak with a southern twang. The country music, the Bakersfield sound, was a big rival to the Grand Ole Opry sound. The Grand Ole Opry sound won. But for a long time, you know, Buck Owens, Merle Haggard are all from Bakersfield. And still, well, not Buck Owens, but still identify very much with that place. So even though it's in California, it actually has a lot more to do with the South than with, you know, Santa Monica or San Francisco or.
What's your favorite book tour story? Either your own personal or one that you've heard.
Well, I got lost today coming here. We had to stop like 3 times and get direct, and we had GPS in the car. You wondered about Teeny.
It was confused, wasn't it?
It's like Teeny was driving. So, one time, it was back in the 90s, I flew into Denver. It was a trade show. And I had to speak like at 1 o'clock, kind of similar to today. And my plane got in, and my publisher at the time had, they always were so wonderful to have like a car pick me up or taxi or somebody there. Somebody got their wires crossed, and there was nobody there to pick me up. And the conference was like a little bit outside of Denver, and I was looking at my watch. My husband got a taxi, and he said, "There's extra money in it for you if you get her to this hotel. She's got to speak." And I was with Clyde Cussler, and I was, if I had been seeing him, I would have never forgiven myself. So, and he was so nice, and from Georgia too, I believe, was he not? Or from the South? And so I came into the conference room, pulling my little suitcase, and came and I got there just as they were getting started, you know, but they were bringing their hands, the reps, the book reps were like, where is she, you know. It's kind of like when you try to explain, it's like the dog ate my homework.
Right. So can hear you.
Structure. You mentioned structure, Michael. And so what did you learn? How do you both sort of approach the issue of structure, outlining sort of at the beginning? And the second question, I guess for you, Nora, is you were a journalist, right? So how did you make the transition from journalist to fiction writing? Truth to kind of fiction?
Do you want to do structure first?
I can do it very quickly. I basically ignored structure for about, I don't know, 20 years. I was just all about character, and I read a book called The Writer's Journey by Christopher Vogel. It's wonderful, about the hero's journey, and I've tried to study that as much as possible. I try to, it just started with this book. I tried to give Teeny the hero's journey that she would let me give her. And now the 3-act structure, I'm still trying to grapple with that still.
What is the 3-act structure? Beginning, middle, and end? Or?
Yeah, but there's all these little pinch points in between that I just, you know, I'm going to be 58 next month. I mean, I may not ever get it. I'll tell my husband, it may be too late for me. So I had a friend who explained the plot. It's like putting a clothesline, a sheet on a clothesline, and the plot with pins. And it's probably not as complicated as I'm trying to make it, you know, in my mind, but in a way it is. It just seems so hard to do that. So I always try to do the hero's journey and let the character kind of go through whatever path in whatever order that feels right to them. And then I do try to look at the 3-act structure and try to look. I don't go in like 10% beginning and 20% or so much for Act 1. I could not do that, which I probably should, but I can't. But I try to look at it and say, well, my exciting incident probably needs to occur before page 125. I had to really grapple with that with the book I just finished, because that inciting incident needed to be moved up really, really fast. And it's an ongoing thing, and I'm kind of excited, even though I am, you know, kind of golden years here. But it's so much fun to learn that, because I didn't know. I mean, I just didn't know. I was a nurse. How would I know about the hero?